What's up, everybody? This is our Game of Thrones Season 5, Episode 7 live after show. My name is Matt. The guy above me is Dan.
Hi, I'm Dan, and I'm awesome. And then there's a guy over here. I think I'm pointing the right way again,
Yep,
right?
you are. Always point towards your microphone.
That guy over there with the hat.
Oh, that's me. Sorry. Hey. I'm Opie, and
like
below
done
me
this
is the low sparrow.
I'm a bird.
You are. You're the bird.
Yay!
And that's
I
Dave.
can fly.
Below Opie. We just finished watching Season 5, Episode 7 of Game of Thrones. And we're going to talk about it.
Oh shit! I was watching Bob's Burgers.
Oh, well, you're not going to have a lot of input on this. Unless
Twist
it
at
was...
the end was he was cooking chicken sandwiches and not burgers. It was
Yep.
crazy.
Yeah, it was
Crazy
out of
episode.
control.
So this episode was pretty good. More, it's a broken record. More pieces getting moved into place. And let me say something first. So last week we said that there was no Game of Thrones episode this week, and that was my fault. Totally
Matt
my
just
fault.
made it up. Matt was just like, you know
Matt
what?
read
I'm not
something
doing
on
it.
the internet and thought it was true.
Well,
Yeah.
if it's on the internet, it has to be true. So yeah, my bad. I guess everybody in the world was thinking, because everybody in the world watches this, but everybody in the world must have been thinking, it's not on next week. It's on. So sorry, guys. I had to, we all had to scramble together at the last minute because I told everybody that it wasn't on, but it was. So sorry
That's
about
true.
that, guys.
That's true.
I forgot they don't celebrate Memorial Day in Westeros,
That's right.
so they don't have the night off like we all do.
Right, and I don't think celebrate Memorial Day in most countries, but the United States.
Well, that's neither here nor there. So, guys, before we get into our rundown, what did you guys think?
Hated it.
Okay. All right.
Well,
Wow. Damn.
I like it. I'm still waiting for that oh snap moment. And
Yeah.
we kind of got a little bit of that in this one. I was kind of happy. Let's just say we can kind of sum up this episode as like when the inmates start running the asylum, which is kind of what's getting ready to start happening. It looks like in old King's Landing.
Right.
And, so I think some stuff's
Listen.
they're just going to overload us in the next few episodes in the season finale with just awesomeness that we're just actually going to have a meltdown. We may have to watch some of these episodes twice to get it all
Yeah.
in.
Well, it's always the next to last episode, I think, is when is when the other shoe drops.
8 or 9.
I thought it was 8 or 9, and we're a week or two away from that. So
But
I
things
don't know.
are
There was some shit went down today that was kind of like, oh snap.
yeah.
Listen, they throw a lot of bad at you in Game of Thrones. It's always nice to get a win.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
It is.
yeah,
It's always nice.
yeah. After the bad from the end of last week's
Yeah,
episode.
this is the end of
Yeah,
this episode is a nice palate
They can only
cleanser for that.
pour so much hate and just awfulness in
Yeah.
the world, and then they finally have to give you
Yeah.
one win here and there just to make you
George
feel
R.R. Martin just keeps kicking you in the crotch over and over again, and then you
And
finally
then he gives you one ice cube and says, "Here."
yeah, he's like, here, I'm not going to kick you in the crotch so much this week.
Well, no, there was still a lot of crotch kicking.
Right.
Yeah,
At the
there
very end, I'm like Dave. He like hands you an ice pack. And
He's
like,
like,
here,
just-
man, chill
we'll
for a
take a
second.
break.
Wait till next week. I'll kick you harder. So- but yeah, all in all, a good episode again. It was really, really good. A lot of good stuff. So you ready?
Let's
Yes.
get to it.
Yeah.
Ready to do it? We're going scene by scene. Spoilers if you haven't seen one of our episodes
Yeah,
yet.
it kind of goes without saying, but yeah.
Spoilers.
We give the
We can
spoilers.
watch
We talk a lot of spoilers for the episode. So what we're going to do here is going to start out with Jon Snow.
Oh God.
So
Awesome.
Oh,
we
sorry,
fade
the
in.
stream just cut out. I'm sorry.
Fade in
Uh,
on the front of a horse, breathing in the cold weather, the snow falling from the sky. It pans out to a Jon Snow packing his horse. So it starts with Jon Snow. He's getting ready. He's about to take off with Tormund Giantsbane, I think is his name or whatever.
I just call him. I call him Mountain Man Opie.
Mountain Man, open.
If I could grow a beard.
Right. Right. I'm right there with you.
That dude. I should put Popley in here.
Right, so Jon Snow's hanging out with Mountain Man Opie, getting ready to roll out. They're packing their mules, getting all set up, and Jon walks over to the first ranger, Alistair Thorne, says, "Hey, we're taking off. You're in charge. And he's like, good. I don't like you.
He looked at him dead in the eye and said, "No parties, no parties.
No
Okay,
parties.
here's money for pizza. You can have some friends over,
I
but
left
no
some money
parties."
for pizza in the dining hall.
Right.
No parties. No
No
loud
Giants
music.
can't come over. They
That's
they trash the place.
He walks over to Sam. Sam gives him some dragon glass, like, hey, man, be careful out there. Godspeed. They hug it out. They bro hug it out.
Yep.
And it's off to the races for Opie, Mountain Man, and Jon Snow in a group of a group of crows there.
Well, it's funny because every time I see Jon Snow, I kind of think of myself.
Ooh, like
Because
looking in the mirror and it, man.
Right. I don't see that ever. Every time I see Jon Snow.
Just with short hair and no beard, or
No,
sword
yeah.
skills, or sex
Or-
appeal, or
her abilities and anything to live on your own. Right. So we go from there. We get to Gilly, Sam, and Master Aemon. Aemon's laying in bed. They're talking to the baby. Aemon's talking about some of his old family members. He's a Targaryen, by the way. That was revealed a long time ago. And he kind of tells Gilly and Sam and the child to take the child south. Said, "Get out of here.
Get
You
outta
don't
here."
need to be here." Yeah. He keeps calling the baby Egg, and I think it's because that's an old family thing that he did when they were kids back in the day. So we go from there. That was a quick scene. We jump from there. We go to Reek. He's getting some food put together. Old Theon.
oh man,
And he brings some food
Jeez.
into Sansa, and he's still looking all crazy-eyed and goofiness. And Sansa kind of jumps up, and she's been locked in the room for days now.
well, so and I wrote that down. Saying, question: is Sansa locked in? Is she locked in that room? But then she said, "He's had me locked in here for days." So I was like, okay,
Yeah,
makes
so
sense. And all the bruises on her arm.
Here's another
I
one.
mean,
Yeah.
This is
She's-
where
yeah.
Martin
That-
just
ugh.
kicks you in the crotch.
Yeah,
a
there you
couple more times.
So Sansa asks Theon's like, "Hey, I need your help." He's like, "No, I'm Reek. I'm Reek. Don't call me that. I'll get in trouble." She's like, "No, you're Theon Greyjoy. You're blah 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 blah. You need to do this for me."
Iron Islands,
Right.
and yeah.
And she's like, "Take this candle, set it in the tower." Because remember, Brian telling the people of the town to send a message to Sansa
right.
so she knows. So it goes from there. And she gives the candle to Theon. And Theon goes walking off, and he's looking at the tower. And then he walks into a room with Ramsay.
He
there.
walks into the room he was supposed to put the candle in.
No,
I don't
no,
think it
no,
was.
No,
I think
no,
he was
it
looking
wasn't.
at the tower. He
I-
went to different
It was
rooms.
made to look that way.
Yeah, I don't think he was going that way. I
I
think
mean,
he
he's
went to
not
a
going to be
different tower.
having dinner at the top of a broken tower.
Yeah.
Well, see, because when that scene came up, I wrote down. I said, "Does Ramsay know about the candle?"
No,
Because I thought I was like,
Theon-
"Well, is it that room or not?"
no, it's not.
You're wrong.
Theon does as he told. He goes and tells on Sansa, but that'll come up a little bit later. But that I put down there looks like Theon brings candle to Ramsay instead of taking it to the tower where he was supposed to be
Okay,
taken.
okay. Well, I want to leave that one open for debate because I kind of think that he went to
can't-
put the candle in the window and there's Ramsay sitting there. Of course, why would there be a table full of food in
Yeah,
the
and
tower?
a fire burning in a burnout tower. Man,
Well, I still think okay.
just give it up. You're done there. No.
It's the way I interpreted it. Okay.
Okay, that's all right. That's all
I
right.
mean, if you want to see it
Hard.
wrong, that's okay.
It's hard to watch.
So we go back and we
Not
get back.
cartoons. Okay.
We get back to Aemon is dying. Maester Aemon's dying.
Wait. Before we go on, and this has a. I wrote this note down when we were in that scene with Theon walking through. I wrote down winter is almost here, so this is going to be a big deal soon. For 4 years, winter's coming. So I'm excited to see winter is here and what it looks like because there were several references in this episode about we don't know how long this winter's going to last, how many years this is going to last.
Yeah.
I want to see. I'm excited to see how winter affects this story, and because winter there lasts for years. It's not a few months, and I'm interested in seeing that. Like, so I wonder if all next season we're going to get winter. Surely we will. right?
Chicken dinner.
Sure, yeah.
Wait,
Maybe
not
some
winter.
dragons. Dragons versus winter.
Yeah,
Yes, this is the battle royale.
Dragons versus the winner.
Dragons versus White Walkers.
Dragons versus seasons. That'll show them. So yes, winter
White Walker
is here.
dragons.
It's starting to snow. We'll get into that a little bit later with some of the other
Yep,
scenes. But
okay.
it goes back to Sam and Gilly. Gilly's like, "Sam, go get some sleep." He's like, "No, I need to watch over him." Aemon's still going a little goofy because he's passing away. And they said this at the end of the episode. It's like, this is the first time in the show that somebody's like passed away from natural causes.
Yeah, and that was a good
Yeah,
point.
Which is true. Yeah.
point. Like,
Looked totally peaceful. He wasn't run through or poisoned or beheaded or anything like that. He just died in his sleep.
Yep, and it just sucks because Eamon was a really good guy. I really liked him. It sucks that he passed on. So he goes. It goes to the next scene, which is his funeral. Sam is giving a eulogy, speaking with everyone, and leaving to Alistair to ruin a moment.
Yeah.
Leads in
Yeah.
like, "Where's all your friends now,
Yeah.
Sam? What's
You're
up, bro?"
You're losing all your friends. Shut up. Shut up.
And
Too soon, bro.
right. It's a nice moment there. They give a decent crow funeral for a man of the black up there. We go from there, and now it jumps back to Sansa and Ramsay. It's snowing. Winter has arrived. And she's able to come outside because Ramsay wants to meet with her. Because he wants to mess their head. Sansa does a little poking and prodding there before anything goes down, though.
Yeah,
She's like,
yeah.
"Oh, so what if you get a brother? He'll have more claim than
Yeah.
you. It sucks to be
You're
you,
a
man."
bastard. Your
Just
dad's
trying
a
to tick him
bastard,
off.
you bastard. Bastard.
But she does find out that Jon is Lord Commander of the Night's Watch.
Yeah,
So
which
that
I had
kinda-
never even thought about the fact that she didn't know that.
Yeah, me neither. So she finds out that he is in charge of the group up there, which is kind of shocking to her. Well, turns out Theon's still a sucker, and he's still Reek. He's not Theon, and he turned the candle into Ramsay.
Mm-hmm.
And we see why they're called the Flayed Men,
Yeah.
because they take the old lady who made the comments and they flayed her and put her on the rack, kind of
Yeah.
thing.
I mean, does Sansa not like? Does she have a sign around her neck that says "Show me dead people" or "Kill people in front of me"? Because how many people does she have to watch die just right in front of her? It's like,
Right.
oh, look, there's your dad's head on a spike. Hey, look, there's an old person trying to help you.
It's just
Hey.
there again, Martin kicking us in the nuts.
Yeah.
Saying,
Well, I
hey,
kick
more
your
hate
crotch.
and suck.
Well, and
Suck
if you
it
think
here.
about it, there's not that she cared, but Joffrey died right in front of her.
Yeah.
Her dad died in front of her. The old lady died in front of her. I mean, how is she not just effed up? I did write down, so earlier I wrote down the question, is Sansa locked in the room? And then, oh yeah, it turns out she is. And then I wrote down when Theon entered what I thought was the tower to put the candle up, and Ramsay was sitting there, I wrote down, does Ramsay know about the candle? Well, again, yep, apparently.
Yeah.
Yep.
Theon being
Bastard-
Theon. Just
bastard
not.
Theon.
He has so many opportunities to do the right thing, and
I know.
he's just Mr. Douchebag over and over again.
But
just
one thing
scared to
you
death.
didn't
So
mention,
funny.
after they finished talking and right before she saw the old woman, she grabbed like a corkscrew.
Yes.
And,
Yeah, she
and
picks
hid
up the little
that.
thing.
So
Yeah.
look for that to come up later.
Look for her to open bottles of wine every night. She now can.
Right.
It's a scary thing. So
There'll be a lot of drinking.
that's right. We go to Stannis out in camp. Big snowstorms in. They're kind of bogged down, showing like his men just getting beaten and battered and
Yep.
freezing to death. And Davos comes in and he's like, "Listen, we lost 40 horses last night. We're going to lose a
Dang.
ton more tonight. We have no food. It's cold.
Eat the
My
horses.
feet
You
are
didn't
tired.
say
I
eat
got
the
a bad
horses.
knee." No, he did, but I was waiting for that.
I was waiting to eat the horses.
Well, because they said they're low on food. So yeah, eat the horses.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's not inhumane,
I mean-
is it? I mean, they're already dead.
No, it's if they're already dead, it's
Well,
a
I don't know
delicacy in
if it's
some countries.
tainted meat.
Is it? Would
I mean,
it be?
I
No,
guess
I wouldn't.
it's
doubt
diseased
it.
They die
if
from
they've
being
died
frozen?
from, I don't know.
It's preserved. Yeah, it's frozen.
Sure. Okay. You guys can have horse meat then. I'll wait.
I will eat horse meat if
I'll
I'm
have an
stranding
apple
in the middle.
and maybe some grapes.
Liar, you'll have ham and tomatoes and
That's right.
Yeah.
That's my role. That's what I do.
Horse meat is low carb.
Well, I'll let you have that. That's good. Davos say we need to move back. We need to go back to Castle Black. Stannis like, nope, we're going forward. I'm Stannis Baratheon. I don't listen to anybody. I'm stubborn. This is what we're doing.
You're not my mom.
Right?
Yeah.
He says, I'm a bearded Stannis Baratheon. I don't know if you guys picked up on that, but it looked good on him.
No, you may know my brother Chad, or my, you may know Chad Baratheon.
Chad Baratheon's up there with him.
It's a
and,
used car emporium.
used car emporium there with Chad. So Davos leaves. Stannis is there with Melisandre. He's like, and after Davos leaves, he's like, dude, seriously, this place is falling apart. Do we go back? Do we stay? Are you seriously seeing this?
Well, and
It's
that's
just like,
and,
yes.
and Davos, he was one of the ones that said we don't know how many years this winter's going to last. So he wants to go back to the wall and like hole up for years or
But
however long
Stannis
it's
knows
gonna
they'll
last.
be, yeah, well, Stannis knows they'll be stuck there if they do.
Right.
And then the wall doesn't have enough food to feed all of his army to keep them alive. But anyways,
Especially, I like thinking that though because a couple of weeks ago, Jon Snow or somebody said, "Yeah, so when are you guys leaving?"
that was Jon
I mean,
Snow.
Yeah.
it's totally been cool that you guys are here, but when? I mean,
Right.
when are you gonna find your own place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lysandra's like trying to talk Stannis into, I think, sacrificing his own daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Pretty much like we
Yep.
need royal blood and we got somebody here.
Just
Just
you
let
have
me
another
cut her.
smoke baby.
Let me cut her. And Stannis like, whoa, that's my girl. No. And then kicks her out of the tent. And it kind
Well,
of
does he have to kill her? Is it going to be a sacrifice?
See, I don't know.
that's what she's getting at. Because he's like, he asked for leeches. He was like,
Yeah.
things like this. Like, no, you know how it has to be done, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, whatever.
Yeah.
No, not my daughter.
Yeah. You get the hell out of my face.
That's right. So we go from there.
Wait. So another thing I wrote down that I really liked from that scene, foreshadowing, is when Melisandre said, "You have to." She's basically, you have to hurry, get this done. You have to become king because you are the only one who can lead the living against the dead.
Right.
So that's foreshadowing, a big battle
But
coming
he's
up with the
not.
White Walkers.
He's not. Daenerys can lead them. She's got dragons.
Well, I'm
She's
not.
dragons.
Yeah, but just the mention of a big battle between the living and the dead. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That'd be
it kind of makes me wonder, like, and again, we haven't read the books, so I don't know how far ahead of this they are, but it's like, are they going to have this whole story finish out the Game of Thrones, finally figured out who's going to take the Iron Throne and all as well, but then now they have to deal with the White Walkers? I mean, is that...
I have no idea.
Or is
I
it
don't
going to
know.
be, is it all going to be mixed together, or is it going to be kind of like, okay, the first part ended, and now that we're all done, all the families killing each other, now we've got, and the dust is settled, now we've got to fight the White Walkers. I mean, I don't know what that's going to be like.
It'll be interesting how they come about it and how it's going to come to a conclusion. Like he still has 2 books to go and he hasn't done them. And
Yeah.
the series has caught him. So
Because when Sam gave John the dragon glass at the beginning, I mean, I guarantee he'll have to use that at some point.
right. Well, I mean, it just goes to show it's like, the only thing that can kill them is dragon glass. Who has dragons? Well, that's Daenerys. Okay, so Daenerys needs to be there with dragons. So it's kind of foreshadowing there. It's like, okay, so it looks like the dragons will be coming back and doing some damage up there. Yeah. So we go back to Castle Black. Gilly's in cleaning some laundry. A couple crows come in, a little drunk, a little tipsy, getting a little rowdy in the bar. Wanting to slap her around a little bit, have some fun. And old protector Sam comes busting in there. And he's like, "You get your dang hands
It's
off her."
over.
And they turn and commence to beating the crap out of him.
And then he stands up and is like, what?
Yeah.
You say something?
Right, they kick the crap out of him. They go back to Gilly. They're trying to get them some. And Sam gets up. He's like, I've killed this person. I've killed this person. You guys don't seem like much of a threat. And he's getting all serious. And then who's got his back? Ghost shows up.
John
and just-
Uh,
Direwolf.
Right. It would have been better if like Sam makes the threat and then they get all scared and run away. He's like, yeah, got him. And then turns around, there's Ghost standing
Right.
there. Like, dang it,
Like,
I
damn
thought
it,
that was
Ghost.
tough.
You cock blocking back. Get out of here.
So this is where it gets to sexy time with Sam. Sam's getting his wounds dealt with by Gilly, and she's all turned on about him being all awesome and stuff a little bit ago. And Sam and Gilly get it on.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Which is
In a
interesting.
Sam kind of way.
I liked that scene, not for those reasons, but I've always wondered, does Gilly like Sam as much as Sam likes Gilly?
I don't know. Probably in the books, they I think are on the road south when they get together and have their moment of love
Okay,
making.
so spoiler alert, apparently they leave. Thanks, Dan.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
no problem. They're gonna leave, by the way.
Okay, awesome. Wow.
So what did Sam say there when they're getting on? Like, oh my,
He
or
just said, "Oh, what is this?"
oh, hello there, ring a ding ding.
Ching.
I think he said, slow down, I'm going to spurt. Too late.
You guys lay down.
He just yells Yahtzee.
Yeah.
Yahtzee! Wow! And then he commenced sleeping.
Yeah.
So we go from there. We jump over to Jorah, and Tyrion.
Mm-hmm.
They're with the slavers, of course. They're getting sold. The seller puts on this huge show for Jorah, and he ends up going for 20 gold pieces. Well, Tyrion needs to find a way to stay with Jorah, so he talks about how a great fighter he is, and everybody laughs at him, and then he kicks the crap out of one of the sailors, which was really cool.
Yeah,
and so
does.
he gets purchased as well. So boom, our other buddy cop duo was
exactly that was the exact that scene was a remake from Star Wars Episode 4 when they bought 3PO and R2D2.
There you go. Yeah.
Right, because they only wanted.
I don't remember R2D2 like throwing down on a
Well,
Jawa.
okay, maybe not that, but they wanted 3PO,
No,
but not R2.
Well, no. What would happen was if the buyer bought a second slave fighter and he just had an aneurysm and died, and then they would have took.
Then they take Tyrion, right?
They
That's
take
true, that's
Tyrion.
true.
So R2D4 has the bad motivator and blows his head up. He's like, oh, this one's got a bad brain.
But that did remind me of that.
Jorah's got to be like, well, what about that R2 unit over there?
Yeah,
Or that midget, that
we've seen
little
Mighty
person.
Venom.
So yes, they reenacted Star Wars. It was wonderful. We go to Danny and Dario having happy fun time in bed, hanging out, and they're talking.
Danny and Dario having a little Sam and Gilly.
That's
if
right.
you know what I'm saying.
Super happy, sexy fun time. Just chilling. They're talking afterwards. Dario's like, "Hey, marry me. It's totally cool." She's like, "No, I'm a queen. You're a loser. You're just here
But
for
you got to
sex."
do it in your Daenerys voice. Like, it's like I don't have any like.
Seriously, I'm a queen.
Yeah.
You're
what
like,
should I do?
you're
Like,
hot, but you're not popular, and I can't marry someone not popular. Sorry. So Dario's like, "Well, dang it, man. This
you're not free, really?" And she's like,
As if.
Dario's talking to her, and he tells her she needs to bring out all these families and all these great people and just slaughter them. Because he's like, you're either going to be a butcher or you're going to be meat.
a baker, or maybe a candlestick maker.
A butcher, a baker, or a candlestick maker. And we saw what happened to a candlestick maker. They get flayed.
Right.
So you better make some damn
Full
good
circle.
calls,
There
lady.
you go. Circle of life. It all comes back to Lion King. You're welcome. We just brought it around. We go from there. We jump over to the High Sparrow, talking to the Queen of Thorns, Alana, whatever her name is. Olena, Olay. And
Oh god.
she's trying to use her power and influence. Like, you want something. What do you want? I know you want money. Do you want power? I'm not going to bring food to your people. And he's just kind of like, sad that you really have nothing on me. And when the poor, who are the many, are against the rich, who are the few, the poor will win. And it's kind of foreshadowing something that happens later in the episode, which I kind of caught on to right there. And then the next scene with Cersei and Tommen. So Cersei and Tommen is ticked off. And
Yeah,
so
he finally grows a pair, and well, I mean, he still doesn't do anything, but he at least gets emotional.
He's not getting laid. That's the problem.
I want happy time.
Mom, you don't even understand. She had sex with me and things.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
You touched my no-no places.
And Thomas threatening, he's like, I will march an army on that place so I can get that booty.
Yeah.
Get my booty out of the sand.
That's right. And she's like, no, don't do that. You're the king. Don't worry. And this is what kills me right here. Cersei's like, don't worry. I'll go talk to the High
I'll
Sparrow.
take care of
I'll
it."
tie the High Sparrow. We're kind of in cahoots. And right there, I was like, I hope she gets burned. I hope she gets burned. And we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But Cersei does have a moment there where she shows some humility or shows some love when she's talking about her children, she's like, "I'll burn cities to the ground for you guys. There is no one that'll hurt my kids, and I'll do anything for them."
That's the only.
That's kind of her only redeeming factor.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the only redeeming thing about Cersei is that she will do anything for her kids. That she really does love them.
Yep.
But she takes it a little far. But she really, really will do anything for them.
Yeah. It's funny, too, because Tommen just pretty much admits, like, I love her. I don't care. I love that woman, and that's who I want to be with.
Dude, how could you not, man?
That's true.
She's hot.
He wants to love her every night.
Mm-hmm.
So we go from there, we jump down to Dorne. We get to see Jamie hanging out, just chilling. And in comes his niece/daughter, Marcella.
Little
Talk to
Jamie.
her, and he's like, "Listen, your mom's worried. I'm your uncle. I just came to get you. Bring it back." She's like, "You have less hair, and you're not as hot as you used to be."
And less of a
You don't
hand.
know me. You don't know me. You don't
Right?
know
Yeah,
Dad.
exactly.
Wait,
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. You got my dad. You don't know who I am.
He's like, but actually, oh
yeah. Never mind.
And she tells him, he's like, "I love Tristan. I'm staying down here. We're going to get married, and we're going to get our own place, and we're going to love each other forever. And you don't know who I am.
Right.
I'm going to be a dancer."
Damn.
In the water garden.
Right. So he goes there, and then we go down to our good friend Braun for the other half of our
Oh,
buddy
yes.
film.
Freestyling Braun.
Yeah, who has the voice of an angel?
Braunapella. We could just call him Braunapella.
Braunapella just tearing it up for the Sand Snakes down there, singing some good songs about Dornish women.
Braun unplugged.
Well, Braun's sitting there, he's talking about, hey, Dornish women are the hottest. Oh, wait, not you ladies. And then Tyene, I think that's the one. Tyene, she's one of the Sand
I don't
Snakes.
give a shit what she calls herself.
She gets up to the bar, she's like, "Oh,
Like,
really? Boobage." Which I do the
you
bars. And she's like, "So who's the hottest? And Braun's kind of losing it, but he starts to get, his nose is bleeding, he's feeling a little off. Well, he's been poisoned because the awful sand snake fight, somehow she hit him and poisoned him. And she kind of tells him and goes through, yeah, I always lace my blades with poison, just like her dad did, Oberon.
Which let me stop you right there. Tina Marie actually posted on last week's video.
Yeah.
And she said her top 12 predictions. And number 9, she said Bronn will die with the cut he got. Slippery sand snakes makes me wonder if venom is on their whip too.
Ooh,
So,
he's
yeah,
called it straight up.
Yeah, so I don't know if Tina reads the books or not, but I didn't think about that at all.
Yeah.
So
I didn't either. It didn't hit me until this came up. Then you get to think, it's like, well, Oberon does the same thing. So it's like, okay, well, that makes sense that his daughters would all lace their stuff with
I just
poison.
didn't think about that.
Yeah. Well, she gives him the antidote.
Yep.
She puts her clothes back on, and then she's like, "You're a pretty hot guy too. I kind of dig you."
Yeah.
So we have a nice little love affair starting between the sand
So they're
snakes.
they're burying the hatchet, you know.
We go from there after our buddy cop show. We head back to King's Landing.
I want that so bad. I want a Jamie and Braun buddy cop movie
Buddy
or
cop
TV show or
movie,
something.
yeah.
You know.
Dun, dun, dun.
Gold cloaks of King's Landing.
Dun, dun, dun.
One's
is-
a wise crack and full. The other's got one hand. How will they get along? One's a sellsword, one's from a famous family. Can they get along?
One plays by the book. The other one has no rules.
What's the theme song to Chips? Ron and Jamie.
They go back and, Tywin Lannister's still there. You caused 20,000 gold in property damage.
Get out of my office! I can't even look.
And he's like, yeah, but we took down the evil queen. Your mouth's writing checks that your buddy can't cash.
Turn in your cloaks and your swords. You're on suspension.
Oh, God, I want that show so bad.
You guys are spending time too much down in Flea Bottom. Get out of there. So we go back. We got Littlefinger going through his old brothel, taking inventory for the insurance claims.
Right.
And Alina Tyrion, Queen of Thorns, she shows up and talking to Littlefinger about why is he there. He always shows up when there's crap going down. And they finally, it's pretty obvious they were part of it, but they finally admit to, hey, we're the ones that killed Joffrey.
Right. Well, they didn't. They said we took down a king, or we killed a king. They didn't really say, but
it's kind of obvious which one they're talking about. And Littlefinger drops a little hint like Cersei needed some information. I gave it to her, but I didn't give her all the information when he's talking back to the queen. And then they discuss the death of a king, blah blah blah.
But what information so I thought he was going to give
I
her
don't
some
know.
information, but what?
I thought he was too. He's like, and I didn't tell her everything or something else or whatever. I didn't really catch the whole part, but he didn't reveal any of the information he gave away.
Unless he knew what was going to happen at the end, which we'll get to with Cersei, but.
Yeah, I don't think he did. I don't think anybody knew the High Sparrow was just going to be legit and not be bought by anybody.
Right.
So that's what's awesome. So yeah, Cersei needed info. I came back to give her that, and I think the info she needed was that of probably the Boltons, where Stannis was, things like that. I think that's the information he's talking about that he had to give her. And I think the other information he didn't give her was the fact that, hey, I killed your son. That's kind of what I did. So we go from there. We get back to Marine. Thank you. We got Jorah preparing all these gladiators getting ready to go into the field of battle and fight, and all of a sudden, the queen shows up, and everybody's got to look their best, and slave owners like running around, telling everybody to stand up straight.
Tuck your shirt in.
Yeah, hello, queen is here now. Did we bring enough food for her? We got to look good. Big battle commences. Everybody's killing everybody. Dany wants to leave. Jorah finds out she's out there. He's like, all right, I'm going out. And he puts his mask on. He gets out there, and he just kicks everybody's tail.
So it pretty much
without
the gore.
Right.
Did you not notice that?
Well, he didn't kill
He was
anybody.
trying to do gore. He just beat the crap out of him. He didn't kill a single person.
Yeah.
So basically, earlier in the episode, how they stole from Star Wars Episode 4, this scene they stole from Russell Crowe's Gladiator.
There you go. I like Russell Close. Russell Close Gladiator.
Because then Ser Jorah took his helmet off and said, "Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?"
I think he said that. Oh.
Well, it was in. I saw the deleted scene.
Oh, it was gotcha.
loosely translated.
And then Joaquin Phoenix is over there like, oh, he got away with it again.
Right. He fought the tiger.
Right.
On the chain.
I'm gonna whine through this whole movie. Ugh. So Jorah comes out, beats the crap out of everybody. He stands there, he's like, I did this for you, my queen. And she's like, get out of my face for real.
Seriously.
Whatever. You can leave now. And he's like, I have a prize for you. And then Tyrion's back there trying to get out of the chain. Some big dude lets him out. He's like, hey, thanks, bro. Rolls outside. He's like, I'm the prize. I'm Tyrion Lannister. You're Daenerys Targaryen.
Which I thought it was interesting, and not that she would, but I thought it was interesting that she didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think she's met anybody from that family.
But the thing, yeah, and even though they haven't met, like everybody, especially royals, they all know each other. Like, so that even if you haven't met Tyrion, he's the imp.
But also you have to remember too that she may not have had the lessons that the others have had because she's been living
wiped out.
Yeah, she's been living in exile for
young.
many years.
Well, and I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with her or anything. I just assumed that she, when he came running out, she would know. Maybe they hadn't met, but she would know who he was. But I guess
I don't know, because again, there's probably more than just one little person in the entire world. It's on the completely opposite side of the world. He has nothing showing that he's a Lannister on him.
Yeah.
He's
not even really dressed as royalty.
Correct. He's got a huge beard, all this stuff. There's nothing that would say, "Oh my gosh, that's Tyrion." Right. Because George's like, I brought a gift, and she could be like, you just brought me a little person? I don't understand what's so awesome about that. Thank you. That's first of all rude, and you should not treat people like that. And secondly, and then it's like, oh, you're Tyrion. Dun dun dun.
Which I wrote a note that said Tyrion and Dany finally meet, because that's what I've been waiting for. I always thought Dany would make a good queen on the Iron Throne with Tyrion and as her right hand. Although now I've kind of switched. I want Jon Snow to do it, but the two of them together, I think is going to be pretty.
Yep, that's cool.
Something special.
Mm-hmm. Finally, we get to the final scenes of the show where George Martin hands us the ice pack, and Cersei goes in. She meets with Marjorie in prison. Is like,
wait, what? He hands us the ice pack.
for kicking us in
Yeah,
the
So
nuts.
she goes,
Right.
you got to talk yourself.
Matt, you got to stick with the jokes.
That's
They
right,
last
that's right,
all
that's
through the
right.
episode.
Okay,
Come
gotcha.
on, man.
Come on, man. Callbacks all night long. She goes in, meets some more. She's like, "Oh, I brought you some stuff to help you." "Oh, how did you get in here?" "Oh, I'm so sad." Arthur's like, "You
The whole time
crazy bee. I'm going to slap
Yeah, the whole time she's sitting there talking, I'm just like, lady, you're so full of shit.
Yeah.
I'm doing everything I can. Oh, cannot believe you are in prison."
I brought you some venison, and I instantly thought, did she hit a deer with a jeep? To get that, just like
Yep.
H1Z1.
H1Z1.
What's that with that?
So Cersei brings her in there. She's leaving. She's gonna go talk to the High Sparrow, and she's smiling like, "I'm awesome." It gets in there, and they're in the oldest temple inside the place. And the High Sparrow goes through the whole tale of, this place. When you rip away everything away, this would be left. The simplest of things, and that's what I'm for. And then, kind of like, so what if we take away your jewelry? What will we find, young lady? And Cersei's like, whoa. Hello.
Hey.
And then,
Look at the
I love
time.
it. So it's just like, I gotta get out. I gotta think.
Yeah. Oh man, I gotta
Yeah.
dry cleaning. Got to pick it up before they close.
So nope, they don't let Cersei out. The young man Lancel,
Samsonite.
Not gonna work here anymore anyway.
Not gonna work.
is got criminal charges to go against Cersei, against the church, which the High Sparrow then shows, I'm not under anybody's reign. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do by the light of the seven. It doesn't take, just because you're rich doesn't mean you control me. And he locks Cersei up. Boom.
Yeah, he does.
And she is yelling, I am the queen. You know who I am? Blah, blah, blah.
Look at
Don't
my
even-
face.
And I'm just sitting there smiling like, yes, lock her up. Stupid woman. Throw her into prison. And that's where we end. Cersei going to jail.
So-
High Sparrow showing some cojones by just sticking to his word, what he wants to do. Although his word is kind of crazy. And if you're not into their religion,
Well, okay, but is he crazy though? I mean, he's not. I don't see him as crazy. I just think of him as extreme. So basically,
Extreme.
anybody who sins at all in his eyes should be
Dealt with.
dealt with, like at least put on trial, thrown in jail, stuff like that. Now, Cersei and Marjorie and all those guys, I mean, they've all done some bad things, but so I don't think that the head sparrow is crazy, but he's
a
just,
fanatic. He's a fanatic.
Yeah.
Right.
He's a very big fanatic. And right now he has a lot of
So
power.
that totally, I mean,
Thanks to Cersei.
it totally backfired on her.
Yeah, because
Right.
Cersei thought, I've got him in my corner now. I'm going to go give power back to the church. We're going to give them an army to do what they want to do, because that's what, now I've got me another little army to fight by my side because I think I've got them under my control. And
Nope.
no, that's not how that works. He is the High Sparrow. He only believes in the church. He only believes in that way. And that's where the foreshadowing came from when he was talking to Queen of Thorns and everything. He's like, you have no, it must really hurt you because you have nothing on me. And the sad thing is, the many are the poor and the few are the rich. And when the poor or the many start getting upset with the few, who's going to win that?
Right.
And that's pretty much it. He's for the common man.
So which conversation was it brought up that the Targaryens wiped out? Like, did they rule before? Like, were they in
the council? Well, he just talks about before the Targaryens were there and probably took the power away from the Sparrows and the High Septon. That they used to rule and have these inquiries into people all the time, and there would be 7 Septons that would sit on the council and pass judgment.
So they had more power. So this was kind of a way they were trying to go back to the way it was.
Yeah, Targaryens took away, I'm guessing, their power.
Well, and that was funny too. So Cersei was like, "So who are you going to be one of the 7, right?" And he's like, "Oh yeah," and she's like, "Oh, I got this."
Yeah. She's like, "Good, I got this in the bag."
But the thing I love about that most, and you just mentioned, I think, but then they also talked about it in the little behind the scenes stuff after the episode, was that she's the one that put him in power to begin with.
Yeah. Yep.
And completely just backfired. Karma's a bitch. Be careful what you wish for.
So do you think the way that the Queen of Thorns or whatever was talking to him, that he's surrounded by like sinners everywhere, and you're just going after the high ones? Do you think they're like playing like the cops of?
No, he's told them many a time he judges everyone equally. Just because you're rich doesn't put you above the law. or the law of the word the seven or whatever.
But I
It doesn't
don't-
put you in there.
But I
So
don't see
you don't get to step
how
above that.
the king, if he grew a pair and got out from under his mom's shadow, King Thomas, like I don't see how he couldn't just overrule all that and just
He
let him
could. He would have to go against the church that
Right.
the common people adore, which would cause
Which
an
would
uproar in
start
the
a war,
city,
yeah.
and which would start
Yeah.
a war, and which would cause.
and he said he would.
So
So Cersei was the one who's calming him down because he said, "I'll start a war to get Marjorie out."
yeah, and
Cersei
now
said,
he's got his mom and his wife.
Right. So what? Now what's he gonna do?
Start a war.
Probably because he makes bad decisions,
He does,
and I honestly think he's just gonna just tell his guards to go in there and get everybody out, and everything's gonna blow up.
Yep. I mean, I guess he could. They didn't have power before. The guys that are running around for the High Sparrow are crazy, but they're only carrying clubs.
Yeah.
Right.
So he could get his gold cloaks to probably go in there with some great fighters and just lay waste to him if he wanted to. But the way the people will see him, it would cause a riot. It would cause them overthrowing the king, I would think. Just too much. Again, you have the few that are rich against the masses that are poor, and once they get a breaking point, they're going to turn and destroy whatever they can. And the rich aren't safe just because they have money.
And the other interesting thing that'll come out is not only a possible war between the Sparrows and Tommen's crew, but if they put Cersei on trial for
Yeah.
all of her transgressions,
Ooh, man.
and it's like
that.
we talked about it before, and they've even mentioned on the show. Everybody knows it, but nobody talks about it. It's just this unspoken thing.
Yeah.
But they're really going to be opening the doors and talking about it outwardly.
Well, you
about-
also have to remember there's a lot of stuff that's not really explained in the show as it is in the book. Cersei is a whore. She has slept with about 30 different dudes there to get her way and to get people to. And she was the fair maiden of the kingdoms. She was the hottest chick. And then Marjorie came along, and Marjorie's now the hottest chick. But Cersei has used her powers of vagina to sway a lot of men to do her bidding. And that's all probably going to come out. And Lysel, that's going to talk against her, she slept with him, and that's her cousin.
Yeah,
So,
I thought.
you know-
I did remember that. I
Yeah.
thought something
Yeah,
happened
yeah.
like that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there is a lot of stuff.
When
that's
did that
about to
happen?
show- That was like season 1, season 2, when they had just. got
Yeah.
the-
She was just using him as like just to
Yeah.
pass the time. Jamie was gone.
Well, she was
Yeah,
using him
it's-
for something as like a spy, I think, on Tyrion or something when he was handed.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, she's used many a man in King's Landing. She has slept with a lot of dudes. And she's an alcoholic now because all the dudes she slept with have no power and her whole family's all gone. So she has to try her best to figure out something. And that's falling apart now, too. So, yeah. So, yeah, there you go. That's episode
it.
7.
And next week looks awesome because looks like there's lots of hot Jon Snow action with the wildlings.
Ooh, hot
Um,
Jon Snow on Wildling action.
Right. That. Oh my gosh. That's
You
gonna
know
be,
nothing, Jon Snow, till you get in my tent. Wow.
So that's
I
gonna
don't know what that
be.
means, but there you go.
Well, and most of the preview is actually focused on that because he meets with the wildlings. Doesn't look like they really want to help out.
I can't wait. We're gonna have to fix. So we've been having some technical issues where everybody can't keep up. We watch
Yeah,
together. These
yeah,
last
it's
3 episodes, I think we really need to watch together because I think something's gonna happen. Some stuff is gonna happen
Yeah.
that I still know a little bit about, and we'll see because I want to see reactions.
Right. Yeah. We'll definitely have to watch the next 3 together.
Yeah. So, anyways, there you go. That's it. We will, Matt. I think you've got this episode labeled as episode 6. It should be 7.
No, it's 507.
Okay, at the bottom
507.
it says. I know, but at the bottom.
Oh, it's I'll fix the description.
Okay, so we're gonna fix that and fire Matt. We'll be back next week without Matt.
There, it's fixed. Jeez.
Thank you. It's about time.
Please
We
like
thank you for
and
watching, guys. You know where we are. We're youtube.com/nerdpunch because if you're here watching live, we appreciate it. If not, please come by and check us out. We got lots of videos.
Subscribe.
Come by twitchtv.tv/nerdpunch when we're playing games and drinking the burrs. Follow us on Twitter @nerdpunch. Email us
And
nerdpunch@gmail.com. Send us smoke
Facebook.com/.
signals to smokesignals@nerdpunch.com. Go by nerdpunch.com. Here's Matt's cell phone number.
Dan's social
Yeah,
and
there you
Opie's
go.
home address.
And here's Dave's
Yep.
bank account.
But
So,
nerdpunch.com has
they
our
don't want that.
nerdpunch.com has our schedule, so you can see
Yes.
like the games we stream and the shows we do and stuff like that. So
Actually, for the people who do watch this, if you could comment in this, we are trying to think of a show to do after we're done with Game of Thrones because we like doing these
Right.
after shows.
yeah,
We're thinking about sticking around HBO. We have True Detectives new season starting up soon. If you guys would like us to do that, comment or send us an email or something, or send us a tweet, hashtag next episode or something. I don't know, whatever hashtag the show you want us to see. But if you like us and you enjoy doing this, mark on here if there's a series that's coming up that you guys want us to do this to. We like doing it, and
it doesn't have to be just one.
no, we can do multiples. It'd be cool. So yeah. But anyways, we've gone long in the tooth.
Yep.
See you guys next time. Winter's coming. We're out.
Later.
See ya.